Hello everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're undertaking a creative exercise in narrative transformation. We'll be taking a short piece of writing and completely reinventing it, expanding its scope, deepening its themes, and crafting entirely new characters and storylines. Our goal is to create a significantly longer and richer narrative, moving far beyond the original's confines while retaining a spark of its initial inspiration. We will focus on relevant elements, avoiding unnecessary tangents. Let's begin by considering the original text's focus on interpersonal conflicts and hidden tensions within a social circle. We'll transpose this to a different setting, a remote research station nestled deep within the Arctic Circle. This isolated environment amplifies the characters' emotional states, creating a pressure cooker of secrets and unspoken desires. Our central character is Dr. Eris Thorne, a brilliant but troubled glaciologist leading a small team studying the accelerating melt of the polar ice cap. Eris isn't dealing with family drama like the original characters. He's haunted by a past expedition that ended in tragedy, a secret he keeps buried deep within his psyche. This past isn't a simple mistake, it involves a difficult choice he made under extreme pressure, a choice that now threatens to resurface and jeopardize his current research. Now, let's explore the theme of reinvention, which in this context becomes a quest for redemption. Instead of a pub or an art gallery, we'll use the research station itself as a symbol of this transformation. The station, once a cutting-edge facility, has fallen into disrepair, mirroring Eris's own deteriorating state. His efforts to revitalize the station become intertwined with his personal journey of healing. This isn't about financial success or public recognition, it's about confronting his past and finding a way to move forward. We can delve into the technical challenges of maintaining the station in such a harsh environment, the constant threat of blizzards and equipment malfunctions becoming metaphors for the obstacles Eris faces in his own life. We can introduce a new character, Dr. Lena Hansen, a young and ambitious meteorologist who arrives at the station, bringing fresh energy and challenging Eris's established routines. Her presence forces him to confront his past and re-evaluate his approach to both his research and his life. Next, let's examine the theme of support and its impact on individual struggles. Instead of a mother-daughter or sibling relationship, we'll focus on the dynamics within the research team. These individuals, isolated from the rest of the world, form a makeshift family, relying on each other for support and companionship. One key character is Kenji Ito, the station's veteran engineer, a quiet and observant man who serves as a mentor figure to the younger researchers. Kenji, unlike the more directly involved supportive characters in the original text, provides subtle guidance and emotional support, offering a listening ear and a calming presence in times of crisis. He becomes a confidant for Eris, gradually helping him open up about his past. Finally, let's reimagine the concept of an unexpected event. Instead of a present or a storm, we'll introduce a scientific discovery that has profound global implications. The team uncovers evidence of a previously unknown geological phenomenon beneath the ice, a discovery that could drastically alter our understanding of climate change. This discovery isn't a simple plot device, it becomes a catalyst that forces the characters to confront their own values and priorities. Eris's past comes back to haunt him as the pressure to publish their findings intensifies, mirroring the pressure he felt during his past expedition. The team must work together under immense pressure, facing not only the scientific challenges of their discovery but also the ethical dilemmas it presents. The sterile hum of hospital equipment filled the air as Anna stood beside Dex's bed. The antiseptic scent, so pervasive in medical facilities, hung heavy, a constant reminder of the precariousness of life. Dex, his features pale against the crisp white sheets, recounted the chaotic scene that had led to his current predicament. His voice, weak but steady, painted a vivid picture of the preceding events. He described the raucous group of inebriated football players, their boisterous laughter and slurred speech echoing through the establishment. He recalled his attempt to restore order, the clinking of bottles as he confiscated their alcohol, a task that abruptly turned violent. The memory of the sharp pain, the sudden sting of the blade, remained stark and unsettling. A chilling question hung in the air, unspoken yet palpable. Had this been a random act of violence, a consequence of being in the wrong place at the wrong time, or was there a more sinister motive at play? Dex voiced his concern, a ripple of unease in his tone. Could he have been targeted specifically because of his profession? The thought cast a long shadow, raising the specter of a calculated attack, a deliberate attempt to silence or intimidate. Portia, her brow furrowed with concern, listened intently as Curtis outlined his ambitious, and potentially perilous, plan. The air crackled with tension, the unspoken weight of betrayal and ambition hanging heavy between them. Curtis's words, carefully chosen yet laced with a steely resolve, painted a portrait of a man driven to reclaim what he felt was rightfully his. He spoke of Aurora, not just as a company, but as an entity inextricably linked to his own identity, a creation born from his vision and nurtured by his dedication. He emphasized the wellness division, a testament to his innovative spirit and entrepreneurial drive, his voice imbued with a sense of ownership that transcended mere employment. It was more than just a job, it was a legacy. The idea of simply walking away, of relinquishing his stake in the company's future, was anathema to him. Portia's initial reaction, born from a place of genuine care and concern, was to urge caution. She suggested a different path, one that avoided the potential for conflict and personal damage. Perhaps, she suggested, there was a way to extricate himself from the situation gracefully, to preserve his dignity and avoid a messy confrontation. But Curtis's mind was made up. He was not a man to be deterred. He needed allies, individuals he could trust implicitly to navigate the treacherous waters ahead. He spoke of Jordan, her role in his intricate strategy, her quiet determination a valuable asset in his grand design. He revealed the pivotal piece of information he had received that day, the confirmation of Drew's intention to deny him the CEO position, a betrayal that solidified his resolve. He had informed Portia of his impending long hours, a veiled request for unwavering support and understanding. He needed her, and Jordan, by his side, unwavering pillars of strength in the storm that was brewing. The mention of Michael's name hung in the air, a question mark in the complex equation. Curtis acknowledged Michael's potential utility, a pawn to be strategically deployed in the unfolding game. But for the moment, Curtis was the one orchestrating the moves, pulling the strings from behind the scenes. Curtis's meeting with Jordan at Aurora was not merely a casual exchange, it was a strategic maneuver, a calculated step in his complex plan. The proposed Esplanade, a project conceived to honor the late congressman and championed by Jordan and Drew, became a focal point of their conversation, a seemingly innocuous topic that masked a deeper undercurrent of intrigue. Curtis, with a carefully crafted air of confidence, suggested an alternative location for the memorial, a subtle shift that would ultimately serve his own purposes. He spoke of his impending appointment as CEO, a declaration delivered with an air of inevitability, a pretense that masked the turmoil beneath. He then divulged the details of Drew's duplicity, revealing the extent of his betrayal and the unexpected alliance with Michael. Curtis painted a picture of Michael's motives, portraying him not as a benevolent force seeking the best for Aurora, but as a vengeful figure driven by a desire to harm Drew, regardless of the consequences. He expressed his doubts about Michael's judgment, his concern that his actions would ultimately be detrimental to the company. Jordan, absorbing this information with quiet intensity, pledged to impede the Esplanade project, a strategic delay that would create space for Curtis to execute his plan. He thanked her, acknowledging her crucial role in his unfolding strategy. The arrival of Portia interrupted their conversation, a brief interlude before Jordan received a text message bearing news of Dex's successful surgery. Her swift departure left Curtis and Portia alone, the stage set for a private exchange of significant consequence. The festive air of Rice Plaza, usually a hub of bustling activity, was now tinged with a palpable unease. Jordan, determined to quell the rising anxieties of the community, arrived with a resolute purpose. The Christmas fair, a symbol of joy and togetherness, was threatened by the lingering shadow of recent events, and Jordan was determined to restore a sense of security. As she surveyed the scene, the twinkling lights and festive decorations seemed to flicker with a nervous energy, reflecting the apprehension that gripped the city. Isaiah, his presence a reassuring constant, accompanied her, a silent promise of protection and support. His recent confirmation of accepting the job, symbolized by the signed contract, solidified his commitment to Port Charles and its citizens. Jordan, acknowledging his decision, extended a warm welcome, a gesture that spoke of acceptance and partnership. Their presence together, a beacon of authority and reassurance, began to subtly shift the atmosphere, replacing fear with a glimmer of hope. The sterile confines of the hospital room were momentarily disrupted by Joss's sudden entrance. Her arrival, a whirlwind of concern and anxious energy, broke the tense silence that had settled between Dex and Anna. Anna, sensing the intimacy of the moment, discreetly withdrew, leaving Joss to tend to Dex. Joss's questions tumbled out in a rush, her voice laced with worry as she demanded to know the details of the attack and the identity of the perpetrator. The arrival of Dr. Gannon provided a brief respite from the emotional turmoil. His professional demeanor and reassuring words brought a much-needed sense of calm to the room. He outlined the details of Dex's surgery, emphasizing the positive outcome and the promise of a full recovery. The news was a balm to Joss's frayed nerves, a tangible reassurance that Dex would be all right. Once the doctor had departed, Joss's focus returned to Dex, her questions persistent and probing. Dex recounted the events leading up to the stabbing, his words carefully chosen to avoid causing further distress. Joss's mind immediately jumped to Sunny, a figure whose influence loomed large in their lives. She voiced her suspicion, her concern that Sunny might be responsible for the attack. Dex, however, dismissed the idea, citing Sunny's explicit promise not to retaliate. He reassured Joss, reminding her of their shared desire for a future free from the dangers that had previously surrounded them. He painted a picture of a post-finals getaway, a relaxing escape to a sun-drenched beach, a promise of tranquility and renewed connection. Joss, her spirits lifted by the prospect, eagerly embraced the idea, her mind already envisioning their escape. In a shadowy corner of the city, a clandestine encounter was unfolding. Martin, his voice laced with urgency, left a voicemail for Cyrus, a plea for communication amidst a growing unease. He spoke of disturbing rumors, whispers that painted a troubling picture of Cyrus's activities. Before he could elaborate, a sudden hand gripped his shoulder, interrupting his message. Jason, his presence imposing and his expression unreadable, forcefully escorted Martin to a secluded warehouse. The stark surroundings, the cold concrete and dim lighting, amplified the sense of foreboding. Martin, disoriented and apprehensive, demanded an explanation, his voice tinged with a mixture of fear and indignation. Jason's response was curt and direct, a declaration that he would be the one asking the questions. The arrival of Anna further heightened the tension. Martin, his confusion mounting, questioned the unlikely alliance between Jason and Anna, demanding to know the reason for their collaboration. Anna, her gaze steady and resolute, revealed the purpose of their operation, Valentine. She explained that Martin's cooperation was essential to their plan, that he would play a key role in bringing Valentine to justice. The opulent setting of Nina's office provided a stark contrast to the tense conversation unfolding within its walls. Nina, her expression a mixture of frustration and understanding, recounted her recent encounter with Lulu to Maxie. She described the raw pain and desperation etched on Lulu's face, the unwavering determination of a mother searching for her child. Maxie, listening intently, offered to mediate, understanding the delicate balance between Lulu's anguish and Nina's own position. Nina acknowledged Lulu's plight, recognizing the shared experience of maternal loss that connected them. She emphasized, however, that she was not an adversary, that she had no knowledge of Valentine and Charlotte's whereabouts. As Maxie prepared to leave, Drew's arrival signaled a shift in the conversation's focus, a transition from personal matters to the complex dynamics of corporate power. Drew, his demeanor businesslike, informed Nina of his decision to appoint Michael as CEO of Aurora, effectively sidelining Curtis. Nina's reaction was immediate and visceral, her loyalty to Curtis fueling her anger. Drew attempted to justify his decision, citing Michael's capable leadership and the potential benefits for Michael and Willow's relationship. He suggested that this move could even revitalize their marriage, a proposition that Nina viewed with skepticism. She questioned whether Drew believed he could simply use this position as a bargaining chip, a way to manipulate Michael's personal life. Drew asserted that Michael had willingly accepted the role, but Nina remained unconvinced. She voiced her concern for Curtis, acknowledging his tireless dedication to the company and the inevitable disappointment he would face. Drew attempted to downplay the impact on Curtis, suggesting he could continue to oversee Aurora Wellness. He then presented Nina with a difficult proposition, asking her to deliver the news to Curtis, to soften the blow of his demotion. Nina recoiled at the suggestion, feeling betrayed and manipulated. She couldn't believe Drew wanted her to stab her friend in the back. Drew countered her objections with a pointed question, forcing her to choose between her friendship with Curtis and Willow's happiness. Carly's office became the scene of a dramatic outburst as Lulu, consumed by desperation, demanded that Jack contact Valentine. The tension in the room was palpable, the air thick with anxiety. Jack, complying with Lulu's demand, placed a call to Valentine, only to be met with silence. He explained the complexities of communicating with Valentine, revealing the existence of a burner phone that rendered him untraceable. He reiterated that Valentine had initiated contact, but his current location remained unknown. Lulu's frustration reached a boiling point, her desperation manifesting in a destructive act. She declared her unwavering commitment to finding her daughter, even if it meant dismantling the WSB. In a fit of rage, she seized Jack's phone and smashed it against the desk. Jack, unfazed by the outburst, dryly remarked on the shared family traits between Lulu and her mother. With a sardonic farewell, he departed, leaving Carly to address the aftermath of Lulu's outburst. Carly, her expression concerned, gently informed Lulu that her actions had been counterproductive. Lulu, her emotions still running high, sought reassurance from Carly, questioning Jack's honesty. Carly, however, affirmed her belief in Jack's integrity. Carly, attempting to steer Lulu away from a potentially disastrous course of action, explained her perspective on Jack's involvement. She acknowledged his continued affiliation with the WSB, admitting that complete trust was difficult, yet emphasized his recent helpfulness. She pleaded with Lulu to reconsider targeting the WSB, stressing the potential ramifications of such a move. Lulu, momentarily diverting the conversation, offered a compliment on Carly's new hairstyle, a brief respite from the intense emotional atmosphere. This seemingly superficial observation led to a deeper reflection on the numerous changes that had transpired in their lives. Lulu expressed the overwhelming weight of recent events, acknowledging the losses of Luke and Spencer, but emphasizing that Charlotte's disappearance was the most unbearable of all. Carly, offering comfort and support, reiterated the importance of working with Jack, explaining that antagonizing the WSB would only hinder their efforts. She defended Nina, countering Lulu's suspicions by explaining the history between Nina and Valentine, including Nina's subsequent marriage and divorce from Sonny. In a moment of devastating candor, Carly delivered another blow, informing Lulu of Bobby's passing. She expressed her regret at having to deliver such heartbreaking news amidst Lulu's already overwhelming grief. Lulu, reeling from the additional loss, spoke of Bobby's strength and unwavering support. Carly, channeling her mother's wisdom, encouraged Lulu to remain steadfast, reminding her that Spencers never give up on each other. As Carly spoke these words of encouragement, Maxie appeared in the doorway, her presence a welcome interruption to the heavy conversation. She playfully chided Lulu for not contacting her sooner, her tone affectionate despite the gentle reprimand. Lulu, embracing Maxie warmly, explained her intention to call and shared her joy at seeing Maxie's son, marveling at how much James had grown. Maxie, eager to share her own news and offer support, apologized for interrupting Carly and Lulu. Carly, sensing the need for the two friends to reconnect, graciously offered them privacy, creating space for them to talk. Maxie reiterated her earlier point about Nina, assuring Lulu that Nina would be forthcoming if she had any information about Charlotte. She affirmed her commitment to helping Lulu find her daughter, offering a united front against the uncertainty they faced. Lulu, acknowledging the long-overdue reunion, expressed her desire to catch up with Maxie, seeking solace and connection in their shared history.